You work 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have 3 children by how many different men?
3.
And how much child support do you get?
I get child support 1 kid and $697.
$697 for what child?
1 child, and I don't get child support from the other 2.
What child do you get the $190?
Sailor, the baby.
Ms. Botnick, why is it that you want the house sold?
Well, Jody mentioned that as well
I
because...
didn't ask what he did. I asked, why do you want it sold?
Or my client could answer the question.
So moving on, she actually addresses right here the allegations that she's cheating on her husband.
So you are also communicating with another gentleman now, aren't you?
I have a friend that I text, but I'm not...
A male friend?
Yes.
That you are anticipating and romantically texting, correct?
He lives in Chattanooga, so...
I didn't ask where he lives.
Okay, well, no, we don't talk like that.
You don't
He's
talk that-
support a friend because I'm going through this and I need a friend. And I don't have a lot of girlfriends that really care, so I'm reaching out to him as a...
We're going to subpoena your text records from him.
Oh.
And I'm asking you right now, we've already established that you embellish or tell falsehoods, and I'm asking you right now to create a record because we have a court reporter. They are not romantic in nature. Is that correct? Yes or no?
We don't really talk like that over text.
Yes or no?
message.
Not
I
to
guess
the
I just
point
don't
of-
look at it that way.
Not what y'all are going to do when your divorce is over, can't wait to see him. And so you are not romantically involved with anybody.
I did sleep with him. But we don't talk about it.
Look at, look at.
You understand, I called you as a witness first, and I asked you if you were seeing anybody, didn't I?
I'm not seeing him. He lives in
Are
Chattanooga.
you just having sex with him?
Yeah.
I had sex with him twice.
Twice. Oh, I did sleep with him. Now I have
But we
slept with him
don't text
multiple
about
times.
He lives in Chattanooga. I slept with him twice.
Right. Where?
And 2 times in a hotel.
Oh,
Where?
One time in a hotel, 1 time in a hotel.
Where?
you're still married.
First time was Nashville. Second time was in Murfreesboro.
Oh, you travel around the
pay for it.
country for dick.
He did.
So you're looking for somebody else to start taking care of?
Yeah.
No, I don't want him. We don't even really talk now because I thought I was going to work it out with my husband.
This guy chose the absolute wrong woman to marry. 3 baby fathers for 3 children. Was pregnant when he proposed. And 3 months after she popped the baby out, married her.
Your Honor, if I could, I'm here on behalf of my client, Mr. Joseph Tootle. We filed a complaint for absolute divorce in this matter. It's a very, very short-term marriage. The parties were just married in September of 2023.
Okay.
You have an ex out there that believes you never cheated on him, but you really did.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm 100, so all my know I cheated on them. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely think I didn't cheat on him, but I did with 3 different.
I'm a Scorpio. They know I cheat.
I don't know if he know I cheated on him or not. Yes. Yeah. I cheated though. And I be crying like I didn't.
They're all my mom was your mom was my grandmother was and your grandmother was accepted.
Damn.
The exact same type of women that will call into a Kevin Samuels show asking for a man to be loyal when they don't have a drop of damn loyalty in their own blood. From the streets you emerge, to the streets you belong.
This is Sparta!
Short-term marriage. The parties were just married in September of 2023.
Okay.
And what we have, Your Honor, is that the crux of this case and really the only asset of this marriage comes down to the parties prior to their marriage purchased a home at 1047 Yellow Creek Highway. My client put down a significant down payment on the home. Well, the down payment was put prior to the marriage, and the purchase was right after the parties married. The property is approximately between $700,000 and $800,000 home, has a significant mortgage on it. What we're asking, Your Honor, is for exclusive possession of the home. Mrs. Botnick, again, this is a short-term marriage. Mrs. Botnick has 3 children from prior relationships. In fact, she was with child at the time of the parties' marriage that is not my client's child.
What?
And she has just finished
was
another
pregnant?
custody matter with that child's father. And again, she's not contributing financially. They purchased a vehicle that she is driving, And we are asking that she and the children, and she's allowed her mother, Miss Carol Ledford, to move into the home also.
The mama's
So there's
there.
6 people cohabitating in this home, and my client is having to pay all of meet the financial responsibility of the home. So it's our request that she be ordered to vacate the premises, or in the alternative, given the fact that herself, her 3 children, and her mother are living there, that my client pays 1/6 and she pays 5/6 of all the expenses associated with the home. The home, again, we're going to have an issue. The home has just been purchased. It's very unlikely that there's significant equity. She is not in a position, it's our claim that she's not in a position to buy my client out of the home or get the home refinanced into her own name.
Okay.
But she is not contributing, and she has now begun having extramarital relations, and as a result of that, we want her out of the house.
This sucker married her when it sounds like she had 3 kids. 1 was currently cooking at the point of marriage, does not make any money, moved her mama in, and is now cheating on him. Absolutely ridiculous work. But the information of interest is that down payment on home, which he wants her out of, and rightfully so if she's cheating. Down payment was made prior to marriage, but then the house wasn't closed on until they were married. This guy made so many mistakes.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do you need a man?
Oh, God.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world?
Young liberal women are some of the least informed, most discriminatory people out there. And it's like, I look at single guys and honestly, I get it. If I were a guy single looking at like people like this as my dating prospects, I 100% would be running the other way. We'll see if these women are still so keen on not needing men 20 years in the future when all they have are their cats and their wine.
I'm having a hot girl summer. What does it mean when a woman says that? She's horny. I'm a born again virgin. That's the past doesn't matter. I'm ready to be serious now. She's a
He's good.
I like this job. The next one is boundaries are toxic in a relationship. Why she saying around? But I don't want you to find out. I'm celibate now. What does that mean? She's a
This man has his master's as well as his doctorate in womanese, using soft words to describe ain't shit behavior. I'm a born again virgin. Please.
Approximate purchase price was $800,000. 20% was paid down, which is approximately $160,000.
By the man. She ain't paid none of it. And her name's on the deed.
We have filed before the court today is a motion to sell the marital residence, and we would propose that upon its sale, the net proceeds be paid into court, and then we can proceed with the divorce.
Wow.
In that regard. But I would submit to the court there's no basis to grant Mr. Tootle exclusive possession of the marital home. Ms. Bachnick's name is on the deed. It's a marital asset, and submit that she's entitled to reside there just as much as he is.
Wow. This is what happens when you take on liabilities. She had all them dead kids and you said yes. She had no way to make significant income and you still said yes. She moved her mama in and you still said yes. You put her name on the deed.
State your name, please, ma'am.
Jordan Lindsay Bachnick.
And Ms. Bachnick, where do you work?
Envision Healthcare.
And what do you do for Envision Healthcare?
I'm an AP specialist.
And what does that mean?
Accounts payable. I work for the same company as Joseph.
And what is your rate of pay?
$22 an hour.
You work 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have 3 children by how many different men?
3.
And how much child support do you get?
I get child support 1 kid and $697.
$697 for what child?
1 child. And I don't get child support from the other 2.
What child do you get the $190?
Sailor, the baby.
A fat woman is the, equivalent of what a broke dude is.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, Denford, I cannot keep quiet.
Yeah.
I'm a fat athlete, and despite 15 years of experience and being a certified personal trainer, whenever I walk into a fitness space, everyone assumes I'm a beginner.
I'm a fat athlete. Of course I play in men's gear that doesn't accommodate my chest well, because they don't make plus-size women's sports gear.
I'm a fat athlete, and I don't see bodies that look like mine represented in my industry's mainstream media.
I'm a fat athlete. I can never find a singlet in my size. It's either a men's or custom made. Either way, can never find shit.
I'm a fat athlete, so of course I'm always doing my sports in gear that doesn't fit me particularly well, or in gear that costs 3 to 4 times what my straight size peers pay because I had to go custom.
Hearing the words fat athlete together is gotta be the biggest oxymoron that I can think of. It's like saying fat crackhead. The two just don't go together. You understand what I'm saying? But listen, your incessant need for inclusion excludes common sense. You cannot force a business to make something unless it is profitable to that business to make. If you want to remain fat, buy custom and stop whining. If you made your body this way, you must deal with the consequences.
Do you ever get dressed and just be like, damn, I look good? I did today.
Jesus Christ.
I'm overweight. Of course I eat more calories in the morning than other people do in the entire day. I'm overweight. Of course I'm a VIP member at every restaurant, but not at a gym. I'm overweight, but I'm not alone. Every second American is.
Stop it. Get some help. Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't fucking starting businesses. They're marrying dummies.
It's almost all of it is divorce.
Almost all of it's divorce money. Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company. Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company. They falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of shit. This lady, she used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything, and I saw her speak once.
I said, do women need men? And you said no. And I said, what would happen to society if we didn't have men? And you said nothing because we already have everything. So you said nothing would change and society didn't really need men.
That's fine. We can go with that.
You literally said, do we need men? You're like, no. Okay, so if we don't need men, what would happen to society? Oh, nothing. Okay, well then, and we push back. And then you get mad. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. One child. And I don't get child support from the other two.
What child do you get the $190?
Sailor, the baby.
Not only was she a single mother, but she was a single mother 3x by 3 other different men. And you still said yes to all of that. This is why there's so much literature or so much media that expect men to be these altruistic, forever forgiving of a woman's past. Meanwhile, her past was the biggest red flag. But you submitted yourself to the red flag the size of Haley's Comet for what? Damn, did he walk into this situation?
Were in fact pregnant with Sailor at the time that you married?
No.
Or right after you had just had the child?
I just had him. He was born in June and I got married in September.
You proposed to a woman that was pregnant with another man's child.
And when did your mother move into the home?
She started staying there in October.
October of 2023, right after y'all married in September, is that correct?
Right.
And what was the reason?
She was helping me with the kids, helping us with the kids.
How much does she pay to live there?
She helps with the kids, so in return, she gets to stay there.
Okay, she helps with your children.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
This is
crazy. And so you're just giving her free room and board?
This guy's a pillow cushion.
For helping me watch the kids.
What does she do for a living?
She works at Walmart.
Oh, she works. She could afford her own crib.
So she's capable of paying something to live there?
Well, she's helping me watch the kids.
That wasn't the question.
At the point in time, did you admit to your husband that you only married him for financial security?
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
That's your statement under oath?
Yes.
Did you threaten at the point in time when he told you he wanted a divorce, did you threaten to throw yourself against the wall so that you could get an order of protection and kick him out of the house?
No.
Allowed any of your minor children to operate any motor vehicle in and around the property?
I let my son drive down the driveway.
And he ran over shrubs and things, is that correct?
One shrub.
And that's your 12-year-old or your 10-year-old?
I let my 10-year-old.
Your 10-year-old's driving a vehicle that caused some slight damage to the property, is that correct?
He drove down the driveway and ran over a shrub.
Did you replace it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Do you allow your children to shoot arrows into the drywall of the home? You didn't sit there and videotape it and laugh at it?
I videotaped my son shooting an arrow into a cardboard box.
Not into the garage and damaging the property?
No.
Have you contributed to the house payment?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm paying for everything else.
What is everything else that you're paying for?
This is receiver energy, feminine energy.
Why should we commit to you? What do you offer that most other women don't? Just curious. Or is it a one-way street? So it's essentially, what do you bring to the table?
So she's talking about masculinity and femininity and how they go together. And what she says is that if you go out with her and you ask her, what do you bring to the table, that makes you a feminine man, and that two negatives don't make a positive. So here's a recap of the past 50 years, okay? Men had some power and women had not very much power. And then women said, we want equality. And men said, okay, whatever makes you happy. And then we gave women some power. And then women said, well, we still want you to do more than we do. And men said, okay, whatever makes you happy. And we worked harder and we built skyscrapers and airplanes and we made a lot of money. And then women said, well, we still want to get paid the same, and we figured out a way to do that also. And then women said, masculinity itself is toxic. And then we said, what the fuck? And then you just said, don't even ask me what value I bring to the table. You know, I have about 60,000 followers right now. If somebody could tell me where to find a feminine woman, I'd appreciate it. This is me. This is me. Every time I send out a job application, this is me saying, could I please have some money so I could take her out on a date so she could tell me not to even ask why I should like her?
If an average person interviewed for a job the same way that modern women today date, it would sound like, well, what are your skills and your capabilities? And imagine a response, I am the skill. I am the capability. It sounds absolutely absurd from this perspective, but for some reason today, men just put up with it. Go figure.
All these guys I date are just beta males, looking for a mother to tell them what to do. I don't know why it's so hard to find a faithful, masculine man that will treat you right.
Well, why are you entertaining those men instead of the masculine men you say you want?
Because those men want a soft, dainty little flower. And in my experience, those men don't know how to handle strong, independent women that don't need them.
Is that really true, though? Because those are some masculine traits you listed there. And if a man actually isn't as masculine, then it's not like he can't handle things like strength and independence. He is those things. He probably just doesn't want to date it.
Well, if they were actually masculine, they would be able to deal with a strong woman that challenges them to be better.
Well, a person with a lot of masculine energy has had to overcome a lot of challenges head on, as you would know. Do you really think they want more challenges? A boss already challenges you. A coach challenges you. Life itself will bring plenty of its own challenges, but a partner has your back. A partner supports you through those challenges, not adds to them. So a masculine man doesn't want to deal with a woman that brings more challenges into the relationship any more than you want to deal with these feminine passive men who you have to tell what to do. You're asking for a man who's already put in the work to balance out their masculine feminine energies that you haven't actually done yet.
So you're saying that if I want a man who's already masculine, I would have already had to have done the work to balance out my feminine side? Bingo.
Groceries to stay in the house, and I pay for all my kids. Groceries, clothes.
Pay any of the utilities?
No.
What kind of vehicle are you driving?
A Tahoe.
2021 Chevy Tahoe?
Yes, ma'am.
You acknowledge that the down payment on the home came from his separate funds, do you not?
I'm going to object. That calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm sorry?
I object. That calls for a legal conclusion as to what separate funds are.
I'll rephrase the question. Did you have any money when the contract was made on this house?
I had my own money.
How much did you have?
At the time, I don't recall how much I had.
Did you pay $160,000 down on this house?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No, I didn't put money down on the house.
Why did you say you don't recall?
Well, to your question before that.
Objection asked and answered.
No, I did not pay money on the house.
You know that your husband had money that he put down on this house that was not your money.
Right. After we were married, though, he paid money on the house.
And he paid for your attorney for your paternity actions too, didn't he?
He helped pay for my attorney with Nick.
And how much was that?
What she made was for her.
So you want to ask her questions now, or you want to wait?
What he made was for the family.
When did y'all become romantically involved?
Throughout the time I've known her. Okay. Different instances.
And she was having relations with other people during that time too?
Objection leading.
Correct. I put down earnest money in August.
How much did you put down?
It's $10,000 in earnest money.
And you put down on the house?
Roughly 160 plus the 10,000.
And where was the source of that money?
It came from my income. 120 was in savings. 40 I took a loan against my 401k.
Is there still a loan on the 401k?
Yes.
You took out a loan.
Comes out of my
for a gold
paycheck.
digger.
How much did y'all purchase the home for?
It was $760.
And what is the monthly payments?
$4,200. That doesn't include insurance and taxes.
Did both of you sign the mortgage?
I'm the only one on the mortgage.
Both of you are on a
You know
deed,
why?
but you were only on the mortgage.
It was better to qualify for interest rate under my income than using both.
So even though
That's
the house is in
you
joint
walked
names,
into
the
a movie
mortgage
truck.
is only in your name?
Correct.
Damn. But because of love, because he puts this woman on a pedestal and wants to provide her the entire world, he is broke. This is what happens when you don't have boundaries. This is what happens when you are a wet noodle. This is what happens when you do not stand up for yourself as a man. This is what happens when you cannot say no.
What's led to you filing? Your Honor, we'll move that in as the next exhibit.
But she wants the land in the house.
First exhibit, is it not?
Yes, that first one. What's led to you filing this divorce, sir?
We started having issues in October, which was relatively shortly after being married. She even told me that her therapist and her had discovered that through their therapy that she wasn't really in love with me, and that she wanted consistency and stability for her kids.
Yeah.
And thought that she could love me over time. At that point in time, we talked about getting a divorce. We tried to work it out multiple times, and we kind of wound up back at the same spot.
Because she wants money.
So she had to go to therapy to figure out she didn't love you? Has she contributed anything financially to this marriage?
Other than groceries for her and her kids, no.
Has she made any threats towards you?
Multiple.
Tell me about those.
We got into an argument.
Verbal argument, physical argument, what?
Verbal argument. I'm not a physical person. And we talked about, in that argument, divorce came up, and she wanted me out of the house. She said she would throw herself against the wall and call the cops, say I did it. That was one occasion. Another occasion, she threatened, or she said she'd called the cops. So I said I'd come to the house, wait for the cops to get there. They never came. Recently, as 2 weeks ago, she said that she was going to call the cops, that I'd hit her in front of her 12-year-old, which obviously I didn't. So multiple times that's happened. To the point where I had to get a camera for the room I stay in to make sure that anything would be videoed to show that I'm not
violent,
a physical person.
Right. Holy moly. Put cameras in the cribs.
Another thing that kind of got me a little bit, I guess, I came home one day, we were in a fight, and they were going to do a fire in the fire pit that we have, even though we were in the middle of a drought and a heavy windstorm. And when I said not to do it, I was told that not to talk to our kids all that day.
Did they?
They did not start the fire, thankfully.
So you have financial responsibility for these children, but you don't have father responsibility for these children. Imagine being in your own hold, held hostage by the woman that you married through the decisions, the choices that the children are making, and you being unable to do anything about it. This man simped his way to a horrible life based off of the symmetry in her face. Crazy.
What is difficult about being a man in today's world?
What isn't difficult? Modern men are being made to pay for the sins of a patriarchy that they are no longer the part of. Perfect example of this. There was an article that came out from Robin Dunbar. Studies show that men need 2 guys' nights per week in order to maintain good mental health. The comments were so disgusting from bitter, shallow thinking, mostly women saying, tell me you're a man-child without telling me you're a man-child. This is why women don't want to have your babies. Poor whining patriarchy saying that they can't go out for beers with the boys. The number of men in 1990 that said they had a close friend to call on was didn't have a close friend to call on in an emergency was 3%. In 2020, it was 15%.
Wow.
So it's 5x'd in that time. The most common answer to the question, how many close friends do you have, is 0. It's not the average, but it's the most common. More people have no friends to call than any other number. The single biggest risk to a man under the age of 30 is his own hands. Male loneliness is a big problem. And when a study comes out that says this is a way that we can fix male loneliness, it gets disparaged as part of a luxurious chattering class that all men have. If women have a problem, we say, what can we do to fix the world? If men have a problem, we say, what is it that men aren't doing where they don't fix themselves?
The fact is that many men are only one guy friend away before canceling their own subscription. This is why I continue to push the importance of building community within your life. Work hard, but ensure you are balanced enough that you're feeding into your internal community. You should always have a starting 5. Shit, if I didn't have my starting 5 during my cancer battle or when my father just passed away, I don't even know if I would have had a YouTube channel still, let alone recover to the extent or as quickly to continue to produce, to continue to build. Shout out to the MT Army. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. MediocreTourismReviews@gmail.com. Guys, write your comments down below. Shout out to the MT Army. And I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, YouTube.